Keith, this week's Friday Night SmackDown is live in Chi-Town, Chicago, and your boy CM Punk will be there. Also, two qualifying matches for the Money in the Bank. Keith, let's start with CM Punk. We saw what happened at
We did.
Clash at the Castle. He's got to say something. What do you want to hear from Punk?
Ah, that's such a loaded question because
And is
not
he
a
going to
whole
get
lot,
the biggest
really.
pop?
Obviously, like there was, no way he wasn't going to be at the SmackDown in Chicago,
Yeah,
flat out. But I mean, honestly, if I'm being totally truthful with it, I don't think this is going to happen. But what I would want to hear is, his music hits, there's a big pop. Oh my God, he's back. Does his, walk down, let him soak it in and everything. And before he even gets a chance to say a word on the microphone, Drew shows up and just claymores him.
yeah,
Just boom. Like let it leak or whatever earlier in the day that he is cleared for
oh,
contact now and everything.
yeah,
And then that's it. Like have him come out, big pop, he's all excited, and literally just boom, just bam,
yeah,
right into
yeah,
it. And have Drew beat him up. That's what
yeah,
I want. I don't think it's gonna
yeah.
happen. That's what I would want though.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm with you. I think what we do often, and I do often, is maybe I read between the lines. I mean, if you really think about it and sit down, why would Punk become the ref? Take the, and it just, it's back and forth. Maybe he did it for this reason, maybe he did it for that reason. I'm all for what you said. Have Drew come, Claymore, awesome, leave. But I kind of want to hear what Punk has to say. I want him to give me the reasoning why he did it. I think that's really important, not to continue the storyline, but just to, yeah, they're in, Chicago, but give me the reason. Why'd you do it? Why'd you steal the ref's shirt or why'd you put on the ref shirt?
right.
Something like that. Give me the reason. I mean, it is wrestling, so maybe we won't really get the reason, but again, I'm all for it.
Even even if something like that comes up later, like he comes out to start it, Drew claymores and beats the crap out of him, whatever, and then it's
Yeah.
hour number two or the end of hour two or beginning of third hour, whatever. It's we get Punk in the trainer's room being taped up and him just being like Drew, and then him have
Yeah.
him actually go off there while he's in the back, and then maybe Drew cuts him off again or something. I don't know. I
Yeah.
just want to see. I don't know where they're going with Drew like quitting that whole whatever
Yeah.
that happened on Monday, but I
Yeah.
feel like I feel like the smart thing, just like we were talking about with our Clash of the Castle predictions, like it was too good to not have Punk get involved and cost Drew the match. Like Punk in Chicago for an episode of TV when he's freshly cleared, it's too good to not have Drew come in pissed off because of what
Yep.
happened and just beat the hell out of him the whole.
Yeah.
Um, I do want to hear what he has to say, the reasoning and all that and stuff. Why? Like you bring up a good point. It's fair, but
Yeah. He
I
has
feel
time.
like again for the story of it all, Drew's pissed. Like he's got to
Yeah.
just come in and just beat him up big time.
Beat
But
him
we'll
up.
see. Outside of Punk, the Money in the Bank stuff,
Yeah. Let's
these
talk
these
about it.
those two they're tough to call.
Yeah.
Like the ones
And
they
they're triple
announced.
threats.
Yeah,
That's a little
the
new,
one
right?
the ones they did on Raw already, those were fine.
Yeah, EO
Uh,
one and J one.
right, that's what I mean.
Yeah,
Those were kind of like, yeah, they'll probably will be. I feel like Balor's going to end up getting in there too, whatever. But like, and
yeah,
then what did they announce? It's Gable, Bronson Reed, and Braun Strowman, and then Kyrie, Lyra Valkyria, and Shayna for the women's. Those were announced. Those are both kind of like, yeah, it's probably they're not like too hard to call. Like
yeah,
one of the bigger dudes is probably going to win that match, or like any of those three dudes, they could win, and they would all make sense. I'm not like too stoked on that one. The
yeah,
women's, it's probably going to be Kyrie or Lyra because they have a big hard on for Lyra right now, which is fine. That's cool. They want to get her in.
yeah,
I think they also, if they really want to just really blow up the whole damage control thing, we get Kyrie to win. So Kyrie and Io are both in the match, but whatever. But these ones are tough.
yeah.
A
The
lot of
ones
it
in
is probably because
SmackDown.
like hard overhead too on SmackDown because it's
Yep.
what were they again?
Yeah, we got KO, Andrade, and Waller. I mean, that's tough. Andrade just won that title. I don't know what that means. KO,
Right.
he's the guy to step up whenever they need him. And Waller is a tag team champion. So I don't know. That is tough. What do you got there? I
So
mean, do you give
that's
it
what I
to the
mean.
veteran like KO?
That's a tough one because like KO's proven himself in Money in the Bank matches before. KO in a ladder match, you're going to get a fantastic match. Doesn't matter
Yeah,
who else is in it with him. You're going to get a great match out of him. So yeah, on the one hand, yes, he should win. Andrade, he just won the speed title. I feel like they've kind of already like forgotten about him since bringing him back. I don't think it's going to be Andrade, unfortunately. Um, Waller, I think, would be. I know he's a tag champion, but I think he would be a fantastic Money in the Bank holder.
yeah.
Mostly because, like, not to talk smack on Theory too much, but Waller
Oh,
is
do it.
everything they like wanted Theory to be. He just does it. Like,
Yeah,
he's way more obnoxious and stuff than Theory. Like, to me, he's a little bit better on the mic than Theory is. Like currently, like WWE Theory.
yeah,
And I feel like they're so in dissent between the two of them anyway. So like, put
yeah,
Waller in that match, let Waller win it, and let him, let that be the
yeah,
reason why and stuff. Like, I'd be fine with that. So like, yeah,
yeah.
any of those three would be viable because like I can see them giving it to Andrade. As much as I'm just like it probably won't be Andrade, I think I could easily see him giving it to him because it's like throwing him a bone for being back.
Yeah.
So who knows?
Where is Money in the Bank? Is it overseas again?
No.
No,
Let me
it's in
do a
the
quick
state. Justin.
talk. Yeah, I'm gonna Google you. What are your thoughts on the triple threats
Yeah,
here?
I do see your points, but it just seems like they got to give it to Andrade. It just,
Toronto.
Toronto. Okay, so it's really still in North America, so that's cool.
Yeah.
Andrade, I feel like regardless of the speed title, I think maybe they just did that because Ricochet said, "Hell no, I'm done. I'm out of here." So who do you give it to? Let's give it to Charlotte's husband or boyfriend. Are
Right.
they married? They're
I
married.
think
Yes,
I think they're
husband.
married. Yeah.
Yes. KO, it's back and forth with KO and Andrade, but I'm going to go with Andrade. And then Waller, I feel like maybe, Austin comes out and does a little something. I don't know, interferes,
Mhm.
maybe tries to help Waller because they're showing back in, the past 2 weeks, I think it was some friction. So maybe
Right.
we see something with Theory. Keith, let's get to the next one. This is even
Yeah.
more interesting. So this is again men's. It's Randy, Tonga, and Carmelo Hayes. What do you think? I mean, it's between Randy and Tonga, right? And then maybe even Hayes
That's what
because
I mean. This one's even
why
tougher to me
why
because it's like
Randy? Why Tonga?
I feel
It had
like
all. It looks like it's. Go ahead.
if KO is winning his, Randy's going to win this one because I think they want that
Okay.
back and forth with those two because like those two have been on a great thing of like
Yeah.
they'll feud but they got each other's backs at the same time. So like the two of them in a ladder match and in the Money in the Bank match would be great to see. Tama
Doesn't make
Tama's
sense.
one that like I don't think it would be him that wins, but like it would also make sense that they kind of have to because I feel like Tama's kind of been losing some big matches on pay per
Yeah.
views and stuff, especially. I mean, I know this isn't a pay per view, but
Yeah.
and then Hayes is again in the same boat as like Lyra. He's the up and comer and everything. I feel like they
Yeah.
haven't pushed as they were in NXT, which I don't really know why because he's still great, but he hasn't. I feel like he hasn't
He's
gotten the same talking chops now being on the main roster as he did in NXT. So maybe they're still waiting for that. So maybe it won't be him, but it
yeah.
literally with that one, it could be any of the three, and they would all make sense to
Yeah. You bring up a
me.
good point. I don't know what happens from NXT when they get brought up, but as much as I love Breaker in NXT and what he did this week when he speared what's his face Ludwig, the match with Sheamus was just blah. So I don't know if it's nerves. I don't know if they don't want
Hmm.
to mess up. It just I don't know. He was a little shaky on the mic. He was a little shaky in the ring. I don't know what it is, but that's a good that we could have an entire episode about that.
Oh yeah,
Hayes is just many those two are just the many NXT guys that were like, what are we doing here? But yeah, I'm all for it. So Punk appears, that'll be cool. Cody continues his feud with the bloodline. We talked a little bit about that. I think really that's it.